goes up in...
Hi, Satan, Prince of Darkness. How's it going?
Not good in 300,000 years. Where's my video?
Yeah, I know. I've just been busy.
Crashing my farm. You're gonna be
Where were
crashing.
you? Why'd it take you 300,000 years to even think to call me?
I've been busy myself. You know how it goes.
Well, then use one of your billions of demons.
As if you didn't know the demons were a marketing gimmick.
A marketing gimmick. Okay, whatever, dude. My point remains. I'll get around to it. Okay, just could you leave me alone? You're kind of crashing my vibe here, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I guess this is what I get for leaving it in the hands of someone who watches Anemone videos.
Okay.
I guess this is what I get for leaving it in the hands
All right,
of you.
I got it.
The universe, if you don't stop making the video...
So.
Don't interrupt me. Stop making the video. I'm just sick of this.
All right. I'm working on it, okay?
I'm gonna stop working on this video as soon as I hang up.
I'm working on it! Go do it!
All right. As soon as you hang up, I will start the video, okay?
Is that your mother's jacket? Because it doesn't fit you.
No, it's not my mom's jacket, you fucking prick. It's my grandma's.
Well, yeah, let's just get started on this video, or else you get...
Okay.
Well, you just...
All right, I'm gonna start it
Stop interrupting me, we've lost a bit.
after I'm done doing what I'm doing, okay? Did you really replace my lotion with a copy of Sonic Jam?
Yeah, you like that? Pretty clever.
Well, why did it take you 300,000 years to think to do that?
Better start it, or else we're all doomed. We're all doomed. Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll start it just right away. I'm a busy lord of the underworld. What can I say? If you've been doing it for 300,000 years.
Alright, guys, looks like we're doing Sonic 1 on the Neo Geo. It's funny because the Sonic 1 was never released for the Neo Geo. And that's how video game jokes work.
Everybody wanna motherfucking know why I dress so fly, sit so high, bitch. I do it for the hood. Bitch ass niggas, I do it cause I could. Heavy stars in my jeans, please. 4X in my white tee. Living life like a G, that's why these bitch ass niggas wanna fight me.
Unfortunately, my only working Genesis is downstate at the moment. But fortunately, I do have a furnace. And with that, I think I'm finally ready to start playing this game finally. A lot of you might be wondering why I showed you footage of a Genesis controller and cartridge, when earlier I showed you Sonic Jam. The answer to that is simple. Consistency is for pussies.
Let's get scratching.
Sonic the Hedgehog has had a rough time in the past few years. From waving his first home on the Sega Genesis, titles such as Sonic and Dick Suckerland and Sonic's Pole Polishing have come to prove that maybe the blah blah and the third dimension just don't... Stop it with that fucking speech. Like, 95% of all articles and goddamn videos start with that speech for some reason. Video game journalists, I'd say that with massive air quotes, but I don't think there's enough atmosphere to go around. They love that goddamn speech. They're not really beating the dead horse as much as they are powderizing the fucking thing with their fist. Sonic was a big deal, especially back in 1991. Shook up the gaming scene for being the new kid on the block, made to rival the king of platformers at the time, Pitfall Harry. Sonic, instead of just being a carbon copy of Mario with a new coat of paint, had several characteristics that really made him stand out from the main fat boy. Sonic was an animal, not just any animal, but a smarmy, smirking, Bill Clinton impersonating hedgehog. Sonic had the badass spikes. Sonic wore cool guy sunglasses. Sonic didn't need to follow the rules. And perhaps most importantly, Sonic was Jewish. All of these qualities put together made the masses absolutely lose their shit over this character, ensuring sequels in the future such as Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 CD, and Knuckles, and many, many more. I'm going to be starting with Sonic 1 today. Even though Sonic 2 was my first Sonic game that I ever played as a kid, I'm starting with Sonic 1 because it's the first in the series, and fuck you, sue me. Sonic 1 has a bit of a mysterious atmosphere to it. I'm not sure what gives it this quality. Maybe the parallax backgrounds, the bizarre soundtrack, at least bizarre compared to the rest of the series. Or even just the stage design in general is a bit different than what you would come to expect from the series in the future. The game's premise is pretty simple. On South Island, the enigmatic Dr. Robotnik is capturing little creatures and shoving them into robots to use as a living battery of sorts. With these robots, he wants to destroy South Island and convert it into his, robot dystopia built on top of the ruins. He also wants the Chaos Emeralds for... I don't really know. The Chaos Emeralds are just kind of here in this game. I guess he just had a penchant for blinking jewels. Sonic the Hedgehog, friend and protector of the animals, says nuh-uh to Robotnik's plans and then heads off to fuck them up. Simple. So you press start, and the game immediately drops you into the first stage, Green Hill Zone. Wow, great game, Sega, you fucking clowns. Sonic was never good. The main thing that made Sonic the Hedgehog different was its physics system. Sonic could roll into a ball and bounce all over shit and roll down slopes and up the slopes and into the air, which way you want to go, as long as it's in 2D. You could do it. There was always a way to achieve what you were wanting to, so long as the stage design was built around this physics system, which half the game isn't for some reason. This is one of the things that they would improve on in Sonic 2, was its utilization of the physics in the levels. And then, in the future, just totally forget about it. Guys, Sonic Team, the entire fucking point of the character, I'm sure Sonic Team will be able to do it someday again once they get keyboards that aren't jammed with peanut butter. You gotta understand, back in the day, this physics stuff, this was some cool-ass shit. Sure, you had stuff like Marble Madness, which, kind of had the ball physics thing going on, but that was really kind of just a set path. Again, Sonic 1 loves its set paths just right after Green Hill Zone, but I'm talking about Green Hill Zone, so fuck you. Back in the day, its kind of physics platformer was some cool shit. No time to stop and stare at any of the flowers. Little housefly Badnik thinks he can stop you with that little Pee Wee League pitch bullet. Does it not see this running animation that you'll notice can only play at one set speed throughout the entirety of the game? Yeah, Sonic 1 had a weird speed cap for running, meaning he can only go so fast with his stupid looking wheel legs, regardless of loops or inclines. But when you press down, say fuck you to that speed cap, cause it's time to go fast! This is the good shit. This is the fucking heroin needle in my penis. This is what this game is really all about. Some might think it's some type of oversight or an odd design quirk, but I believe that it was 100% intentional. This is exactly how the first Sonic game was meant to be played. When Sonic was created, Sega wanted to make a creature that could roll into a ball and do various things such as defeating enemies or launching yourself off higher slopes like I'd mentioned earlier. So when people complain about running into enemies, that's because you're supposed to roll into the goddamn ball. Weird looking checker walls, roll into the goddamn ball! The little caterpillar guys in the low ceiling section Marble Zone, roll into the goddamn ball. I swear to God, if I keep hearing this argument that you keep running into enemies, I will fly out to your house with
the handle to my fucking 2-ton jack,
and I will beat the fuck out of you in front of your fucking mommy and daddy. Pressing down on the controller. I understand that that's pretty complex stuff for your brain to handle, but I was able to get a hang of it after a few months. With the right type of levels, such as Green Hill Zone and Starlight, this control scheme and playstyle created a brisk, rhythmic experience that was really fucking fun. So it's a shame that the rest of the levels in this game are a bunch of goddamn monstrosities. What do I mean by this? Well, just think. After Green Hill Zone, a level which is filled with loops and slopes like I keep talking about, like a broken record, the game immediately throws you into Marble Zone, which starts off promising. You know, you still got the grass and it's hilly, and there's some slopes you can run down and platforms to jump across lava, and then BAM! Fuck yeah! Pistons and blocks! Well, the entire premise of the character is to provide a physics-based platformer. So obviously we'll put them in levels where you have to wait for slow-moving platforms in a blocky Mega Man-esque stage with lava and spikes and especially squishy pistons. Squishtons, if you will. These sections aren't fun. I feel like I'm waiting at a goddamn bus stop. Unfortunately, a good chunk of the game is like this too. It has a lot of moments with you thinking, why the hell am I even bothering with this? Something I'm sure is going through the minds of most people watching this video. Marble Zone's boss. Marble Zone's boss is a bit piss easy. I'd say it's probably even easier than Green Hill Zone's boss. Though I always manage to run into the lava pit in the center every single time I've ever played this game, I think. Oh, you know, I'll avoid it this time. I know it's coming, and then bam, I hit it. Fuck. Spring Yard Zone isn't that bad. Still not perfect, but not that bad either. Kind of a middle ground. The thing that always got me about Spring Yard Zone was the background. It's kind of a weird background the more and more you look at it. I'm playing the Sonic Jam version, which has the proper scrolling. I don't know why they took that out in the first US release. Kind of a weird choice. Anyway, this background always kind of creeped me out, and I think I figured it out. Look at the city. There's not a single light on anywhere in this city. And then at the bottom you get all these overgrown bushes and shit. It's like the city was abandoned or something. Wait. Guys. Is Spring Yard Zone Chernobyl? Obviously I'm kidding, because after the meltdown in real life, Russia removed the neon cope signs and floating pinball bumpers. The boss here is pretty cool, but there's a trick I learned. See, you don't necessarily have to wait for Eggman to come all the way down to hit him, because he kind of bobs up and down, back and forth on the screen, if you noticed. So what you could do, when he's at the lowest point of this bob, you can actually hit him and kill that bastard before he even destroys 3 platforms. Even so, this is a pretty unique boss concept. I liked it. After Spring Yard Zone, you get dropped into Labyrinth Zone. Oh, thank God, I thought the game was going to start being fun again. Labyrinth Zone is like a girl I had a bad breakup with. I want nothing to do with it at all. I'm not talking about it. Fuck Labyrinth Zone. I beat it once. That was more than enough for me. And fuck that boss. Fuck that boss. Even Sonic's icon on the HUD is looking at you like, just give them a break. It's their first game. Don't be too hard on them. I like Starlight Zone. Again, if you roll into the goddamn ball like you're supposed to, you could access lots of cool secret areas and upper paths and lower paths and the parallax. The background really is atmospheric, which is some crazy shit for a 1991 platforming game. Look at this. Top layer, you're in space. Middle layer, you're running around on the top of buildings. Bottom layer, you're on the streets. The enemies in this zone suck though, because you got these little spike ball guys that are fortunately considerate enough to float at just the height for you to roll under, no problem. But then you get these little bomb guys right here. These little bomb guys have a gimmick. You can't hit them. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it wasn't. Starlight's boss is pretty neat, but has a really easy pattern, so it kind of takes away any semblance of challenge. No, don't worry, fat ass. I'll set the platform straight again. It's cool. Scrap Brain Zone is an appropriate final zone. It's got a lot of genuine deaths, but it's also got a lot of cheap bullshit deaths that I'm willing to overlook because this game is from 1991. Scrap Brain Zone has the return of pistons. Yes! Love those pistons. The little fire erupty things actually have matching tile set graphics. See where the little pipe breaks? I always like stuff like that. It's pretty neato. I always manage to hit these things even today because apparently jumping is really hard for me. To be fair, it is easier once you get the drop kick power up. And don't let it fool you. Act 2 is the same, more the same. It just has a different background. At the end of the act, however, Robotnik tells you to eat shit and throws you into the sewers. Everyone knows the trick for this stage. Outrun the moving platform at the beginning and you'll be rewarded with a much shorter path. This is the path I always take because I've had enough Labyrinth Zone for one lifetime. I don't care, I don't feel bad, I know it's a cheese, but I did it for this playthrough and I probably will for each and every playthrough. After this, you're in the final zone. Oh my god, yes! Yes, more pistons! Fuck yeah! It's surprisingly easy, just run to each opposite side, avoid the plasma balls, stay to the right or left with the pistons cupped down, and whack Robotnik when he's in it. Despite its easy cheese, there's an element of annoyance because of its weightiness. Because you can only hit Eggman if he's on your side of the screen. If not, bam boom, wait for the plasma balls and hope he's on your side of the screen this time, else you're waiting again. After beating him, he'll outrun the fastest thing alive and you can smack his glider one more time to no effect. After this, Sonic teleports back to Green Hill Zone and then jumps out at you. Endgame. You might be thinking, oh, well, what about the special stages? You're ignoring the special stages. Why are you ignoring the special stages? Believe me, I'm gonna get to the special stages. I'm gonna dedicate an entire video to the special stages in the classic Sonic series. Overall, I had a lot more fun with Sonic the Hedgehog 1 than I thought I was going to. I hadn't replayed it in easily, 8 years. However, I still feel it's probably the weakest of the original classic Sonic trilogy. I still had a lot more fun than I thought I was going to. The good levels are good, but the bad levels, like you heard me complain about earlier, are pretty bad when they're bad. Bad. I feel like the level design is a big factor why I consider it the weakest in the original trilogy. But still, there's fun to be had with this game, even today. I don't see the problems with the gameplay a lot of people like to parrot when they talk about these games, especially the enemy placement. I can't reiterate this enough. It's the point of the game. Roll into the goddamn ball. Why is this such a difficult thing for people? He's a fucking hedgehog. Roll into the ball. You can stop complaining about the enemies and roll into the ball. 6 out of 10.